Wow. I thought the days of no frills, American-made fixed blades that are relatively a decent value were basically gone across the board. But shockingly, Benchmade has proven that that is not necessarily the case with this steep country fixed blade. What is going on? Gideon's Tactical crew. Welcome back to another blade review. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron, and we are gonna have a ton of fun today because I have been using this knife for over 6 months now, off and on, and I have to say, overall, I'm pretty impressed. And the fact that something with a butterfly on it doesn't cost an arm and a leg and is just kind of like, there it is, it's a knife and it's gonna cut for you. It's not like sporting insane premium steels and crazy accents. And yeah, it's like a beautiful museum piece, but do you even really wanna use it? I feel like so many fixed blades are like going that direction, and this is just like, yeah, boom, there's a knife that cuts stuff, and it's not going to be insanely priced. It doesn't seem to have a butterfly tax on it. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna run in competitive options, really think through it, and you know, there's some really cool aspects. It's not perfect. There are definitely some things I'm like, really? Okay. But I was shocked by what this steep country brings to the table. Now, the steep country is designed as a hunting knife first and foremost. But if you've been following the channel this summer, I have been forcing some hunting knives in the size range into the application of light duty, because they are very lightweight. This thing's 3 ounces with a 3.5 inch blade. Utility knives for around camp when you are ultralight hiking, backpacking, and camping. So I feel like it has the ability to be a utility knife. Now, this is not a bushcraft knife. If you want to make feather sticks and wood spirits and carve like a Trojan horse for your kids, wrong knife for that. But with a very broad belly, full flat grind, 1/8 of an inch thick. I mean, with a precise tip, you're not going to be piercing and prying with this, but that allows for good broadness to really guide the tool with a couple of jimping hits in different locations, to do draw cuts if you were doing a skinning motion, if you're cleaning a fish, doing whatever you're doing. The belly, and because of the geometry, really works well in that category, but also can be used in just general EDC. This feels like a Spyderco with a full flat grind, super thin blade, slice magnet, right? Cutting through cordage, cutting through cardboard, doing food prep, doing stuff that you're gonna wanna do in maybe an EDC everyday carry format. Absolutely. Being able to cut paracord and cut through materials and packaging around a campsite when you've backpacked in with your kids. Absolutely. It's going to do a lot of those tasks. Now, what we have found, even those feather sticks on a decent level, really thin, full flat grinds are not ideal when you start actually trying to notch and you start trying to do lots of different movements that a Scandi or a lower saber or flat grind does better. In my personal experience, your mileage may vary. Leave comments below. So that's where I would not necessarily say this. You should be like planning on doing a bunch of woodcraft. It's just not really ideal for that. But the other tasks I just highlighted, absolutely, and I'm really impressed with that. Rocking S30V steel, Benchmade's bread and butter, 58 to 60. It's stainless. I prefer that S35EN, to be honest with you. It doesn't hold its edge as long, but it's easier to resharpen in the field. So if you were to ask me, sure, S30V, fine, totally fine. And it helps bring down the cost, which is excellent. We'll touch on in just a moment. So blade profile, as long as you're not trying to get a bunch of crazy performance and side splitting and whatever, the blade is so thin, don't be doing stupid stuff like that. If you're doing general utility, cleaning of game, food prep, this blade with edge geometry and profile, excelente, really goes up a hill and takes you into a beautiful country of performance, if I could say that. But we'll get to a few attributes that I was like, in that price point and competitive options here in just a moment. But I want to highlight the sponsor of today's video, which is Rocky Talkie. Now, you guys know I've been using these radios for almost 5 years now and have always been pleased with them. In fact, we just got back from Wyoming, and with the 6 of us, some people staying at camp, some of us going and hitting mountain passes, bushwhacking, over ravine or over ridge lines and down into ravines, being able to communicate is awesome and gives an extra level of peace of mind. And with hunting season right around the corner, having the ability to communicate back to base camp if something goes sideways or you get your kill, wow, is that impressive. And you can either go with the original 2-watt radio, which has always been excellent, but if you really want that backcountry level of communication, then you want to take a look at these 5-watt GMRS radios. That will definitely increase your communication range in more rugged terrain and with excellent battery life. We went for 5 days, had them on, from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and these things still had about 40 to 50% battery life on these radios. So that is very impressive, along with tons of other features and capabilities that you could dig into. So if you are looking for a way to be able to communicate, regardless if you're planning your next hunt or you just enjoy the outdoors, I highly recommend taking a look at Rocky Talkies and seeing what they bring to the table. I'll have a link popping up and in the description box below so you can start exploring and communicate with confidence when you go out on your adventures. Okay, let's look at the first double-edged sword, which is the Bolteron Sheath. So it's not, it's a form of polymer. I've had them on multiple other knives. It's got a different density, works great, and zero complaints. First, they don't give you any attachment point. You have to come up with your own attachment point, therefore investing a little extra cash, a little annoying. Gonna be real. Would have been great if they just threw a Blade Tech lock, an ulti clip. So this was my ulti clip. I'll try and link these below. That I threw in there. Even like $35 Chinese made, whatever. Swiss Tech come with some form of a belt clip or something. And since we're looking for mounting options, I wanted to highlight this DIRK sheath adapter from Full Tang Tactical. It's a USA made piece of gear that includes just 2 pieces of Kevlar and nylon that pancake with no hardware. You just use a shock cord through any type of sheath, and then it gives you not only attachment points that you could put different pouches and things like that on the front. It comes with this Velcro attachment, so it'll just drop right on your belt if you wish, but it also has some other attachments that you can run back on itself, and now you can lash it through PALS webbing, molly loops, you can do it through backpack straps, all sorts of different ways, and it works not only on polymer, but also on leather. This is the new leather cross-draw sheath from the Benchmade Dacian, which does not give you any sort of molly compatibility, but bam, you just run that through there, and now it's locked in, and I have way more lashing options. It's just something that has a lot of capability, so I'll have a link in the description box below to this as well, for those of you who want to maybe adapt your steep country or your other blades in general. High vis orange on one side, gray on the other. Now, it has this flared duck billed platypus mouth that allows the knife to sit in. It is loud. Now, for a knife that's designed first and foremost to go in a kill kit for a hunting trip, that is a little annoying. So, if you're lashing this somewhere and you're, moving around, not ideal. Not ideal. It stays in there though, and that's the positive. That, along with those of you who like pocket carrying your fixed blades, what is actually super cool is that with an ulti-clip combo, and it's so slim, so thin, it's broad because it's not taco, but it kind of disappears in the pocket, and if you just have a pair of keys or something, totally fine. Because of that duckbill, it actually makes it much safer and easier to slide into your pocket or into a kill kit or whatever. So safety is actually something that's kind of cool and makes it easier where you don't really even have to look, but you're not going to accidentally stick it in your leg because of the flared duckbill, and boom, it just goes right into place there. So it's kind of double-edged there. Pros and cons with the sheath. Leave a comment below what you think about that. Now, along with that aspect is the rubberized overmolded handle. Now, first, when I saw these dyno spines, I was like, oh my gosh, is that going to be like the hot spot central idiocy? Nope. Shockingly, I don't even feel it. When I use the knife and grip and use the tool, now, if I was designing it, yes, I would have just fully overmolded this thing, but it never causes an issue. So I've used this EDCing it, I've used it food prepping. I've used it making feather sticks, and it never bumped into my hand because of the 0.58 maximum thickness. It tapers, you got a lot of texture, really good deep guard. A lot of caping and hunting knives have almost no guard or whatever. That's why I felt really confident using it in other ways, and I still have a little bit of a bird beak. I have large size hands, so with gloves on, I can absolutely purchase it, use the rubberized scalloping right there. It's very versatile. And so overall, I was like really surprised. I was really surprised with how it feels in the hand, the choice in guard, you know, just aspects to the tool. And then the best part, 180 bucks. Less than $200. And in today's world, when we're seeing Benchmades that are $300 for the similar size, now yeah, it's MagnaCut, and there's, of course, it's micarta and bolt-on cool stuff and leather and Bolteron and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's gonna bring up the cost. Less than $200 for an American-made Benchmade. Wow, that's like, sorry to say, but shocking, shocking. And so I will have links popping up to this, to UltiClip, and to these competitive options about to run in here. I requested this from Benchmade several months ago. They were willing to send it over to me to test out and use. I was very on the fence, and thankfully it was more impressive than I suspected. And this is in collaboration with Smith & Sons. This is the Apex, I believe. Is that what this is? Yeah, no, the AXIOM. MagnaCut steel, less than 200 bucks. Now it's smaller, you can see in every way. Kydex sheath. That came with some stupid belt clip thing. I put an UltiClip on there so you can pocket carry. Excellent. I mean, this is an excellent knife. Different grind. I actually like doing woodworking with this, but we have no rubberized guard. And this is burlap micarta. So, I mean, truly, if I'm going to be doing a lot of game processing, rubber over micarta, I don't want this thing smelling and stinking and getting blood on it and stuff like that. So, EDC pocket carry, probably this. Game processing, camping, rubberized overmold might make more sense. So things to consider, and again, I can't remember if I said that. I think this is like 185, something like that. So that would just be one example. But on the flip side, you look at like a REIFF knife, MagnaCut as well, so better steel, but 300, you know, 285, $85 more, full tank construction. I mean, this has a rubberized, you know, Kydex there, big belly, a lot heavier though, a lot heavier. I believe this one's G10. They have micarta versions. Great blade, but you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna pay for it $85 more, or not $85, $100 more than this. Pretty crazy that Benchmade is actually providing a few blades out there, and I hope they can follow suit. I hope they continue to offer certain blades at these cheap prices in 2025. It's crazy, but so impressive. Let me know your thoughts if you own the Steep Country, and how do you use it, and what's been your experience with this blade. Appreciate you guys hanging with me today and enduring my fatiguing voice. Check out the other videos, subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.